Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pseudo's Crochet and More. This is your host Crystal and my co-host Brownie Bear in the background underneath her blankets. She's kind of looking this way. I don't know. She loves her blankets. That's a Bucky's blanket. It kind of turned into theirs because they put holes in it when they were puppies. So, yeah. So, as you've seen from the thumbnail, I finished my second blanket for my mother-in-law's first great-grandbaby. Now, I know this isn't very wide, but it can be used in other instances besides a baby blanket. You could use it as a lapgan if you wanted to, just to cover your legs. But I used what I'm calling the Ripple V-stitch to make it, and this was using Lion Brand's ice cream yarn in the color pistachio, which is no longer available, and I'll show you the label here. I used just under 2 skeins. I got this at Hobby Lobby when it was on clearance, when they were getting rid of all their ice cream, most of their name brands. Like, they don't really get rid of their stuff. They do, but they don't during the clearances. Usually it's other companies' yarns. And this was the color pistachio. Again, this color is no longer available, but you can make this. I will be doing a stitch tutorial. We'll be going down to the table, showing you how to do this stitch. It's an easy 1-row repeat, and this is how much I had left. Not quite enough to do another row. I was disappointed. I came close, but it was about 3/4 of the way through another row, and then I didn't have enough to finish it. So I do have 2 more skeins of this color. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe I'll make something for my mother-in-law because she really liked this color when it was in the skein. This is 100% acrylic. It's a lightweight or number 3. It is 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, 394 yards, 360 meters. It's 100% acrylic. It is machine washable and dryable. And there's the information on that. Now I did use I'll say this again in the tutorial, but I did use a 5mm hook, which is the recommended hook size. I tried a 4 and that was just too small. There was no way. But again, this was a very easy repeat, and you can see this is how long it is. Well, maybe. There we go. Maybe if I step back. Let me move my chair. See if you guys can see how long this is. From my neck. No, you won't be able to see it. It's below my knees. It's below my knees. So it's a good size in length. I'm still kind of questioning. It's okay for a baby to start with, but as they get older, they could possibly use it as a lovey to have with them. So that is that. I know it doesn't look very straight on the ends. I was trying to think of a border to put on this, but I decided not to. For right now, maybe if I do this stitch for another blanket, I'll think of a border that might work with it. But for this one, I did not. So, now, if you want to learn the stitch that I used, you can stay or you can go. It's all up to you. I will have, as I mentioned in the tutorial, I will have a free pattern for you to download from my merch shop, because I can do that on there, and I can do it at no cost to you. So yeah, if you're interested in learning this stitch, stick around and we'll get down to the table and you can learn this stitch. Alright everybody, I am down at the table here, well, looking at my desk, I guess you could say, and I do apologize for all this stuff that you see here in my video. I try to keep it clean. So if I'm using Loops and Threads Impeccable, which is a 4-weight, my blanket was done in 3-weight using a 5mm hook. I'm going to use the same hook with a 4-weight yarn, because this isn't very thick. It's a 4-weight, but it's not a very thick 4-weight. And it has been working very well because this is the third time I'm trying to do this video for you guys. I keep messing up with the stitch count or counting stitches, so we're going to try it again. Maybe third time's a charm. I don't know. So if you're following along with the size of the blanket that I made, I chained 142, which is the multiple of 14 plus 2. So if you're following along, you can chain up 142 with whatever. If you have a 3-weight, 4-weight, it will shrink a little bit. So take that into consideration when you're thinking about how wide you want it. If you wanted a specific width, I would add a few extra multiples onto it because it does pull up on itself. So I also have a stitch marker here. You can use a stitch marker if you're not sure of where to find the chain spaces, because you will be going into the chains that you create at the end of the rows. So you'll want to have that. This is a very easy one row repeat. I am going to do just a small swatch of the pattern, but again, you can make it any size you want. The multiple is 14 plus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and start again with a chain of 42. If you want to do that just to get a feel for the pattern, that's fine. I am calling this the ripple V pattern because you do use the V stitch, so I'm calling it the ripple V. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry about that. Let's see, how many do I have here now? Because I counted and I think I had 12, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, okay, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44. Okay, so I have chained up 44, which is a multiple of the 14 times 3. So again, you can make this any size you want, but just remember that it will shrink up on you. All right, so let's go ahead and start with row 1. Row 1 is basically, I consider it a foundation row. It's to get your pattern going. Row 2 will be the repeat row. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and mark this chain right below the one on the hook, because that is going to be the chain that you're going to go into to finish the row when we get to the end of row 2. So, all right. Again, you don't have to mark it if you know how to find that chain, that space. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into the third chain from the hook. So that was 1. The next one to it is 2. And we're going to go into the next one, and we're going to yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This is your first it's being called 2 double crochets together. So this is your first double crochet here, and that's your second one. We're going to yarn over, we're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the third chain we're going to place a V stitch. So that's the yarn over, insert hook into the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1. Into that same chain, we're going to place another double crochet. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you've made your first double crochet. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's your first double crochet, first V stitch. Okay, now we're going to yarn over, we're going to skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the third one, we're going to place an increase or peak here. Because we're doing peaks and valleys, dips and mountains, player's choice, whatever you call them. So we're going to make 1 V-stitch. That's double crochet, chain 1. 1 more double crochet into that same space. And since we're making a peak, we need to do 1 more double crochet V-stitch into this same space here. So we're going to chain 1, yarn over, go back through that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there's your second. You should have, or actually your first of the second one. When you're done with this, you should have 4 double crochets and 3 chain 1 spaces. So we got to put 1 more double crochet. I just chained 1, yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's the 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 chain 1 spaces. And then we're going to go ahead and do another V-stitch on the other side of this. We're going to skip 2. I think that's not part of it. Okay. I'm just making sure that this one here is not part of that spot. Okay, so 1, 2, and into the third. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. I'm just double checking. All right. So yeah, 1. Let me, okay. I'm just going to check something real quick. Okay, that's all into that one. Okay, so technically, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. One, 2, and into the third, we're going to do another V-stitch. We're working our way down to the valley, or the dip, or however you want to call it. So it's a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet into the same chain. Okay. All right. Now we're going to skip 2 again. And since we just did the peak, we're going to do the valley, which is 2 double crochets together. And I will show you how that's done, because this is a little different because we're trying to dip it, so it's a little different here. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and into the third, we're going to start a double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, since we're doing a dip, we need to yarn over, skip the next stitch, and into the second one, we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Focus, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's what gives it that little dip here. It'll become more noticeable as you go further along in the pattern. All right. Now we have a V-stitch here. We have the dip or the valley. Now we need to do another V-stitch. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and into the third, we're going to do the V-stitch. So that's 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the same chain. And there's our second one. And you'll see it kind of goes up, down, and up on the pattern. So you're going up here, then down, then you're going back up. So the next stitch, because we just did the valley, is going to be another peak stitch or mountain stitch or whatever you want to call it. Player's choice. I said that in one of the other videos, but you won't hear that because I deleted that video. Alright, so going to yarn over, going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the third, we're going to do 2 double crochet V stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then first double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, go back into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And since this is a peak, we need to add 1 more double crochet. So we'll yarn over, chain 1, yarn over again, go back into that same chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, yarn over, into that same chain, finish the last double crochet. And again, you should have 4 double crochets and 3 chain 1 spaces in your peaks or your mountains or whatever you want to call them. And then we're going to yarn over, skip 2, 1, 2, and into the third, we're going to do a V-stitch. 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, all into the same stitch. And there's that one. Now we're working down to the valley, so we're going to do the 2 double crochets together. And I will show you that one more time here. So we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, into the third. We're going to start a double crochet. If this yarn will work with me. It's been pretty good so far, but you know. Okay. Come on. I want both loops. It doesn't matter. You don't have to get both loops, but I've been doing that so far, so I'm trying to keep it consistent. Okay, so we did part of the first double crochet. You'll have 2 loops left on your hook. You'll yarn over again, skip the next chain, and go into the next one to pull up another loop. You'll have 2, 3, 4 on your hook, 4 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over, pull through 2. And then yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. And you've just made your second dip or valley. Like I said, player's choice. You can call it however you want to call it. Some people call them dips and valleys and peaks. Some people call them dips and peaks, mountains, whatever. Alright, so now we're going to, since we just did that, we're going to do another double crochet V stitch. So skip 1, 2, and into the third. We're going to yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1. We're going to do 1 more double crochet into the same space. And that finishes that one. Now we just did a valley or dip. We're going to do a peak in the next one. So skip 1, 2, and then to the third one. We're going to do a peak. If you're following along, this will be the last peak. If you're doing it according to the size that I made the blanket, you will have a total of 10 peaks in your pattern. So we're going to do two double crochet V stitches in this stitch here, so that's the first half of the first one. Again, V stitches are double crochet, chain one, double crochet into the same stitch. So there's the first one. I'm going to chain one to put a space between them, doing another double crochet, chain one more to finish this peak off. Okay, so there's the last peak, and then we have one more V-stitch. 1, 2, 3, 2. This is not okay. We're going to skip the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Make one more V-stitch. Chain one after your double crochet, and one more double crochet into that same spot. 1, 2. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. This is just not working out for me today, no matter what I do. Okay, so it should be skip 2 and into the very last stitch. Oh, that's right, last 2 stitches. I'm sorry. Okay, so you skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the last 2 stitches, it's going to be two double crochets together. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and into the next one, we're gonna start the double crochet, but we're not gonna finish it. So there's that. Going to leave the 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go into the last chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. Okay, so that's what gives it the wavy look. Now, row 2 starts the repeat row. So on row 2, we're going to chain. We're at the end of row 1. If you want to turn it, you can. I always chain it and then turn it. It's all your preference. I'm going to go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, which does start. It does count as the first part of a double crochet. Okay, turn your work, and then we're going to double crochet into the chain 1 space of the very first V-stitch. Okay, so we're skipping this all together here. We're going to go into, actually, let me get a stitch marker so I can show you guys. I wish I had more of those bigger ones, but I don't. I'm going to get this little tiny one. They don't work very well for me, but alright, let's just get the blue one. It doesn't matter. Okay, so when we did the chain 2, again, if you're not used to finding the top of the chains at the end of the row, you'll want to mark them with the stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and mark this one. It's the one always right below the one on the hook. Now I'm going to turn. And then we're going to double crochet into the chain 1 space. And this counts as the first 2 double crochets together. Okay. And then we're going to, into this space right here for the first double crochet of the peak, we're going to put 1 double crochet in between the middle of the V stitch. We're going to place another V stitch here. So it's into this spot here. We're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, all into that same spot. Okay. And then in the middle, between the V stitches, we're going to place another peak. So it's 2 V stitches or 4 double crochets with 3 chain 1 spaces. So we're going to yarn over, go in between, make sure you're in between the V stitches. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 1. Yarn over, go back into that same space and do another double crochet. So there's your first V stitch. We're going to chain 1. We're going to place another V stitch. Back into that same chain 1 space. 1 double crochet. Chain 1. 1 double crochet. Okay, so you still have a peak in the center of the two V stitches. Okay, and then we're going to do 1 more V stitch into between the previous V stitch. Chain 1. Now, if you want to change colors, you can do it after every row or every so many rows. You can change color. It's up to you. You can do this all one color. You can do the variegated like I did with the pistachio. It's all up to you. Okay, so now we're getting down to where we have the dip, because we have a V stitch here and a V stitch here on either side of this. So we're going to skip over to the V stitch that was right before the dip on the previous row, and this is where we're going to start the 2 double crochet together. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that space, that chain 1 space in that V stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. We're not going to finish a double crochet here. We're going to yarn over. We're going to skip all the way over to the next V stitch. And we're going to finish the 2 double crochets. So before that happens, when you pull up your loop from this over here, you'll have 4 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. Then you've just made your valley. Then you're going to skip over to the first V stitch from the peak from row 1, and you're going to place 1 V stitch in that space. That's 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into there to complete the V stitch. Okay, and now we're at the peak, so we're going to put 2 V stitches into this chain 1 space between the 2 double crochet. You always want to make sure it's between these 2. You don't want to make it into this one, because that's we're doing something different here. This is where the peak goes, right here. So yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, 1 double crochet, chain 1. We need 1 more double crochet. Okay, there's the first V stitch. You can move these around if you need to. Chain 1, back into that same space for your second V stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And that's the end of the peak. And then into the next V-stitch space here, we're going to put another V-stitch on top of it. So that's one double crochet, chain one, one double crochet. Okay, that ends that peak. Now we're at the valley. We're going to skip over to that very first V-stitch. We're going to just start the double crochet. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two. Leave those two loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again. We're going to skip over that stitch because that's basically the skip stitch from below, like we did the first part, skipped a chain, did another one in the next one. This is where we're skipping that. And then into that next V-stitch, we're going to finish the double crochet. We're only doing part of it though. There we go. And that is the repeat all the way to the end. And I'll show you how to end this here in just a second. So this, you just repeat this on your subsequent rows. I did 51 rows on the blanket. It does work up really fast, which was nice because you're doing double crochets and V's and all that goodness. I'm going to finish this row and I'll do one more repeat with you to show you how when you start row 3. So, okay. So now we just did the valley. We're going to do one more V-stitch before the peak. You always want to make sure there's one V-stitch before and after each of the peaks and valleys. Okay, because if you miss one, it's going to throw everything off. And I've did that. So it's no fun going back and frogging. Okay. Yarn over. Now we're at our peak. We're going to do the 2 V-stitches in the same spot. So there's a double crochet, chain 1, back in, double crochet. There's the first V-stitch, chain 1, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, and complete the next V-stitch, or part of the V-stitch, because that's one. We need one more. See, that's why I'm counting, because I thought I had it all. No, 1, 2, 3. So we need one more double crochet here. And then we're done with the peak. Now, we got one more spot to do one more V-stitch. Let's double crochet, chain 1, and one more double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets and 3 chain 1 spaces, 1, 2, and 3. Now we are at the end of the row, and this is why we needed to mark this stitch, because this is our 2 double crochets together spot. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that last V-stitch from row 1, which was the first V-stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain. Nope, I'm sorry. We're doing together and I just screwed that totally up. Rewind. Okay. So this is the 2 together stitch. You're going to start the row and end the row with the same stitch pattern. It's 2 double crochets together. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 2 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over again, but do not go through those 2 loops. We're going to go down to where the chain 2, where you marked it with your stitch marker, to finish the stitch. Okay, well, this stitch marker's not wanting to work with me here. There we go. Make sure that you grab both loops at the very end. Okay, you'll have 4 loops on your hook. You'll yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. That is the end of row 2. And you should still have 1, 2, 3 peaks or 10 peaks, or however many times you multiplied the 14 by. That's how many peaks you should have in your project. And see how much that squished up? That chain 14 was like this long, or 44 was this long. So you'll want to make sure that you take that into consideration when you actually work the pattern for whatever you're wanting to make it for. A blanket, a scarf, a shawl, a wrap, anything like that. Then we're going to chain 2, mark that chain, the top of the chain 2, turn your work. Again, you can turn your work first if you want to. Everybody does it differently. I chain up and then I turn my work. Okay, so now row 3 is same as row 2. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into that first V-stitch and do a double crochet. And there's our 2 together, because you're skipping that stitch below, so it's making part of a valley. It's not a full valley, but it's part of one. And then you're going to yarn over, go into the very first V-stitch from the peak and do a V-stitch, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And then we're in the next chain 1 space is a peak. So we're going to do 2 V-stitches. That's 1 double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, all into the same space. I'm going to chain 1. We're going to do another V-stitch into that same space. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And that is the end of the peak. And then the next V-stitch, we're going to put another V-stitch on top of that one. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And now we're at a valley. So we're going to do 2 together. Okay, so we're going to skip over. Make sure you don't go, this is something that I noticed I did, so I'm going to point this out. Make sure you're not going into this space here. Make sure you're going into the chain 1 space with the V-stitch from the row before, but the previous row, because that will throw you off if you place it in the wrong spot when you're coming back through on the next row. So there's our 2 double crochet together, and again 2 double crochet together is start your double crochet in the first V-stitch. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and then go into the next V-stitch. Skip over that double crochet below together and finish your double crochet in this stitch. And it will finish it for this one too. And then you go to the next V-stitch and do another V-stitch into the chain 1 space. Chain 1. And there's that. And then you do the next one is the peak. So always the in between the two V-stitches with the two together, or two in the same stitch from space from below, is your peak, point, increase. So there's one, chain one, double crochet, first V-stitch done, chain one, double crochet, chain one, and one more double crochet. And there's two. So you have your one, two, three, four. And I started counting to make sure that those were that I had the right amount in that space too. There's nothing wrong with double checking your work before going on. And then in the next one, we'll do one more V-stitch. I've got yarn barf, so apologies for the delay. And okay, and then we're at the valley again. So it's a very quick repeat because you're not increasing how many V-stitches you have between your peaks and your valleys. You are, but you aren't, because when you increase it, you're using it up for the two double crochets together on the next row. Again, I will get this up and available for free on my merch site. It will be a PDF, a printable. There's a way that I can put it on there for free, so I'm going to do that. So anybody that wants to download the pattern, they can. They can watch this and that at the same, use that and this at the same time. The video, it's up to you, because it's very hard sometimes to see exactly what I'm doing because my camera delays a lot. If I go super slow even, it kind of gets out of focus and I have to stop and watch it and make sure it's, picking up everything right. So there's the next one with the two double crochet together. And then we go up here and do another V-stitch. There's that one. And then we do an increase. Yep, increase. Making sure I was in the right spot there. Because sometimes it's hard to tell if you're in the right spot. If you're using, if you're alternating colors, it'll be easier to notice. There's one double crochet, chain one, double crochet, finishes that first V-stitch. Then we need a chain one, one double crochet, chain one, and the last double crochet to finish off the peak. And it will look rounded. I mean, depending on how your stitches, how tight your stitches are, it could be more pointy, it could be more rounded. It's all in, your preferences. So, okay, now we're at our last V-stitch before the two together to end the row. So I'm going to go ahead and yarn over. Insert my hook. Chain one. And there's our second double crochet. That's our V-stitch there. And then we're going to do the two together to end it. And as you noticed, I'm actually looking at the side of it because it kind of goes along the side when it gets closer to this edge. But when you pull this up, it will kind of fix itself. So that's why I'm looking at it like this, because it's kind of on an edge with this stitch. Okay. And then this blue stitch marker actually might be the best one to use for this right now. All right. Again, try to get both loops at the end of the row. Um, no, not even gonna do it. Alright. I'm gonna have to remove that. I try to keep that in there just in case I need to find it again. There we go. Okay. So I got both loops. Took a minute, but I got it. Alright. There's that. And then there's that. Okay. So that is the tutorial for the Ripple V stitch. I would like to know if you guys have ever used this stitch, if you're planning on using it for anything. Again, this is, I used ice cream from Lion Brand. This particular color is no longer available, but they have a whole bunch of different colors you can choose from. This is what I have left from 2. I had not enough to do one more. I was hoping at least one more row. I did get 51 rows done. The other thing that's great about this is this pattern is reversible, so there's no wrong way or right way to show, to use it. This one came in a 394 yard skein. It is considered a lightweight number 3. It is machine washable and dryable, and this one was made in Turkey. It is very soft, very soft. I had no problems working with this yarn. I do have 2 more skeins of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Maybe I'll make my mother-in-law picked this out for her great grandkids. For her first great grandkid that's due in July, sometime in July. And I made the blue one. You guys seen that one last week, the star blanket with Premier Yarns DK colors in the cake. That one is no longer available either, but like I said, you guys can use whatever yarn you want with this. You don't have to use Lion Brand ice cream, but if you like the look of it and how it turned out, the only thing that I'm concerned about is that it's not really, it is wide, but I could have probably went for 20 repeats instead of just the 10. But I mean, for a lap blanket, it works for an adult. For a baby, probably for a little while. And if they keep it nice, it could be like a carry-along blanket when he gets older. Because it is boy. Alright, well that's going to be it for today's tutorial. Again, I will have the written pattern available on my merch site. So you guys can get that for free. I'm not going to charge for it. And you can see what else I have on there that you might like. I've got so much going on right now, but I am going to work on getting more stuff available for you guys. Crochet or yarn related. So, there's that. Alright, well if you liked today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.